Good afternoon. This is Chairman Sampson doing an update on the coronavirus here on the Pyramid Lake Indian Reservation. Today I have our EOC Commander, Don Pelt, here. I have Donna Brown from the Health Clinic here to do an update. Sherry Mendez has an update to give out to us. It's been long overdue. And then the Housing Director, Kathleen Frazier, here today. So what basically everybody was asking what is going on with the plan. Well, this plan has been evolving as things have been flaring up out here on the reservation, and people are asking for what the plan is. So we're laying it out today on what's been going on and how our planning has been going on, and as we're moving forward. So I'd like to have Don Pelt, our EOC Commander, chime in at this time.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Pelt, your Emergency Manager for the Pyramid Lake Paiute Tribe. Wanted to let you all know that we have fully opened our Emergency Operations Center. This is a little different from other emergencies that we've seen here in the past on the reservation. This one doesn't have something that you can see or smell or even touch like the fires or the floods did. This is an invisible virus that makes it a little difficult for the EOC to operate the same way. But to let you know, what we are doing is we are working diligently in front of the scenes and behind the scenes to keep the community safe. Now, we're working with our partners at the clinic in a unified command system so that we can provide the best services available to the tribal community. We're also coordinating with the county, state, and federal governments and their logistics departments in order to acquire additional personal protective equipment and any supplies and materials that are become necessary for the tribe. We're also working with the clinic in concert with them to evaluate, create, and improve our COVID-19 testing, both through capacity and alternative means. And I'm sure Donna will talk more about that here shortly. And we're working in conjunction with all of the other tribes of Nevada to ensure that everyone can come through this thing as safely as possible and stay as healthy as possible. We're also looking to mitigate the tribe's damages economically and continue to recover and plan the phases for reopening in the future. In addition to that, the chairman's goals are to make sure that we obtain the necessary medical, personal protective equipment for our safety personnel, coordinate with our county, state, federal agencies to maintain an efficient flow of information to you, such as these informational videos, protect our most vulnerable residents, and ensure we give the best care to the sick that are already identified. We're also looking to mitigate non-direct impacts on the community and protect the public by issuing and lifting restrictions that include a system to test, the track, and isolate the needs of the community so that we can get back to being as normal as possible in the future. As part of the EOC, we have established a new direct line to the Emergency Operations Center located here at the tribal office. If you need anything from us, you can call this number. It's area code 775-574-2425. That's 574-2425. Thank you.
Donna?
Hi, I'm Donna Brown with the Health Clinic. So mine's just going to be giving you some numbers here. We now have 24 confirmed positive cases here on the reservation. That includes 16 in Nixon, 4 in Sutcliffe, and 4 now in Wadsworth. And that makes up our total of 24. We have 1 hospitalization. We have 2 that are recovered to home, which is a good number there. And we also have no deaths. And I think that might be the most important number we have. One other question we've been asked quite a bit was how many tests have we been performing? To date, we have performed 58 tests at the clinic here in Nixon. And sadly, 24 of those are positive, so our percentages are not that great here. But we also have a new hotline number that we've established at the clinic, and that's 775-574-2602. And that number we're going to use for all COVID-related questions, screening, We will get that, you can call that and get your test results, and that's to take away from the medical triaging that we do, just to kind of help separate and not get that so confused half the time. As usual, we have pharmacy at the 574-2600 number. So when you do call for a med refill, be sure and allow at least a 24-hour turnaround time, and we will call you when your meds are ready to be picked up. Behavioral health, another important aspect that we're doing, our service that we're doing, and that number you still call 574-1018 to schedule, and appointments are over the phone or via telemedicine. So call for more info on that. PRC is another one we have that's kind of, we want to bring some attention to. If you have appointments out there, or you're going to specialists still, and we ask, and if you please call to notify the clinic or to get authorizations and approvals before going to appointments with your specialists. And finally, going to end up with the testing. Just a reminder, testing. Everybody will be screened, and if you meet the criteria to get tested, you will be tested. If you have been in contact with a confirmed positive case or person, call and let us know, and we will get you screened and tested for that as well. And the new arm on that we have is our contact tracing, which is we're going to follow up with you if you've had a positive test, and just be patient. You know, if you're going to get multiple calls from several of our nurses at one time until we get our hotline going and everything runs smooth with that. So if you could just be patient with that and just get us the results, and we'll get you the information back there. Oh, and also one more thing is, if you're going to be testing outside of the clinic, and I believe right now we have 8 testing sites in the Reno area, so anyone can go and get tested. If you don't want to come here, you can go to any of the sites in Reno, but please call and let us know your results if you can. And that's all that I had.
Okay.
Thanks.
Dawn, we were talking earlier about the PPEs, and you know, there's been a lot of discussion out there from the public. Do we have some available for the public?
Well, what we have is Numo Inc., an arm of the tribe, has been gracious enough to buy quite a bit of masks and some hand sanitizers as this thing was in its earliest stages of development. We purchased enough to make sure that the Pyramid Lake Fire Rescue EMS and the clinic would have enough of those items on hand to take care of the community. The rest were purchased under the auspices of helping out our fellow tribes that don't have the resources to get those things. And we do plan on working on some reimbursements for those. As far as giving out masks and things to the community, we are working on a program for that. FEMA has announced a plan to provide cloth masks, which are different than the types we wear. We wear what's known as an N95 particulate mask, which is a much heavier duty mask. It's very difficult to breathe in if you're not accustomed to wearing them. And then we wear some lighter ones like this one that are non-surgical procedural masks. These can even be difficult to breathe in if you're not accustomed to them, and they can be difficult to put on, and if you don't wear them properly, you're not doing yourself any good. Putting the mask down below your nose so that you can get more air is an ineffective way of wearing the mask. Lifting it up above your chin so that it's not sealing your face is again an ineffective way of wearing a mask. You might as well not even be wearing one. So we want to get the right kind to give out to the community. And once we get those, they will be distributed to folks to make sure that everyone is taken care of. Lastly, and most importantly, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. The best way to prevent getting COVID-19 is to stay home and limit your contact.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
And see, and that's that we've been stressing all this time. You know, you're hearing it from our providers here. You know, stay home. If you don't need to go out, stay inside. You know, self-isolate, keep that social distancing that's going on, and watch out for one another. That's what and share information. You know, we don't do these. We're doing these things to get this information out to all the membership. Social media is one of them that we're doing. We're posting on the websites of the tribal clinic. EMS is posting. The business office is posting other information out too. So when you see these posts out there, do a positive thing and share it. Share it out to the community. Share it to the grandmothers, the grandfathers, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters. Anybody that lives outside your immediate family household, reach out to them. Tell them, hey, if you see them walking about and such, let them know, hey, you need to go home. You need to self-isolate. You need to stay inside. All right, that's an important thing that we all have to remember, is we have to watch out for each other. Right now, I'd like to introduce Kathleen Frazier. She has some information from housing.
Good afternoon. I'm Kathleen Frazier, the Executive Director for the Pyramid Lake Housing Authority. I just want to share some of the services that we're able to provide during this pandemic. Right now, we're offering rent relief for our tenants and home buyers under management, which is a total of 159 units for the months of April, May, and June. We're also offering emergency utility assistance to tribal members living on the reservation. So there is no qualification. This is available to all tribal members. The forms are posted in the post office and in the stores. And if you need some, let us know and we will get those to you. We're also in the process of purchasing and distributing cleaning and sanitizing supplies to our rental units, which is a total of 48 units. We're purchasing more. We've been working with the Elders Program to see what their needs are, hopefully being able to purchase them for them. We're also working with the education program to see the numbers of students that are at home working online, to see if they need laptops. We are still in the process of getting that finalized. And we're also working with the Washoe County Human Services Housing Placement Team in Reno to work on referrals of tribal members who have tested positive for COVID-19, who do not have access or the resources to self-isolate because of overcrowding. They live in a multi-family residence. They share a bedroom, they're in a treatment center, or they're currently homeless. So those are, if you need these services, please call housing and we will work on getting you referred.
Thank you, Kathleen. Save the best for last. Sharon Mendez, Vice Chairman.
Hello everyone, this is Sherry Ely Mendez. I am the current Vice Chairman of the tribe. I just wanted to reiterate everything that all of our professionals here are saying, that probably the best and most effective way to keep your family safe and to keep your neighbors safe is to stay home, shelter in place, and do limited amount of outings. When we're talking about travel, I also work with the transportation department here at the tribe. I'm the transportation safety coordinator, and the tribal council has recently put us in charge of creating a way to close the roads out near the lake, highway or state route 445 coming on Pyramid Lake Highway, and also state route 446 going to the lake from Nixon will currently be closed to the public at 2 o'clock today. So what that means is all folks that are not residents of the Pyramid Lake Reservation and all folks who are not tribal members of the Pyramid Lake Reservation will not be allowed to pass through those roads to access the lake. Chairman Sampson and the council have taken extraordinary measures to ensure that the safety of our community is of utmost importance. We've asked people to remain sheltered in place. We've asked to limit travel, and we have also closed the lake for recreational use, which has been a hard decision to make because it's a huge financial risk for us because we don't have folks using our resources. However, unfortunately, a lot of folks from the surrounding communities and from surrounding communities, not communities, but states, have still come out to Pyramid Lake to recreate and are still asking to buy permits to go out there. So the word apparently just didn't hit home. So right now, we've decided as a council to close the lake completely. And that will happen, of course, like I said, this afternoon. There's a lot of protocol around doing that, and we're very grateful for the help that we received from the state of Nevada NDOT and Tara Metz and Mike Fuse with the Division 2 permitting office, who helped us reach the goal of total closure, because that's really an unusual move for them to do on their roadways. And we're really grateful that we're able to do this. We're hopeful that we'll have that in place for 2 months, but we're hopeful that it's going to open up sooner, because we certainly would love to invite our guests back out here to recreate and for our economy to start going again. And we would also really, love for that to be a safe place for everybody to be. So right now, though, this is where it stands. We've only increased our numbers of COVID cases over the last month, and so that is alarming to us, and we would like to make sure that we do everything we can to keep our community safe. We are hopeful that if community members decide to venture out, that they do it in a safe manner, that we follow all of the protocol of not gathering in large groups, not congregating with people that you don't live with, and use the resources safely and make sure that your family is protected. And we certainly hope that this will pass sooner than later, and that we can get back to normal business here at the Pyramid Lake Paiute Tribe. But right now, we appreciate your patience, and we hope for the best.
Well, that's a lot for an update. We look at everything seriously, and we have taken everything seriously. And as we begin to look at possibly reopening in the future, we just need everybody to continually shelter in place, stay at home. For us to be moving into these areas, we did receive information from the Department of Interior on how to move as far as getting the roads closure, and that was a very long process because it's government to government, and we have to make sure that we follow those protocols, because if we didn't, we wouldn't have been able to move in that area of total closing those areas there. So I give the tribal council and the roads department or the transportation department praise, because they did what they needed to do to secure the borders, to secure the incoming and the outgoing. And I'm thankful for that. These things are not just something, as Dawn expressed a little while ago. This is something that we can't see. We could in the past, you could see a fire coming down the hill, and we took those measures of evacuating and all that. But the flooding, we could see the floods as they were rising in the river. This we cannot see, because we can't see it. We can't predict what's going to happen. So we have to move in these areas very sensitive, being sensitive to it. So. As we move into this area, people, we need to continue and try to understand that we have phases that we have to work through and getting this all put together. It isn't something that we just threw together. We had a lot of meetings to try to get these things all worked out, all these little details. And and there's a lot of scrutiny out there. Well, we don't have a plan. We don't have a plan. There is a plan in place to protect you, our citizens of the Pyramid Lake Paiute Tribe, the membership. And that, I thank all these departments that came here today and to give you an update on what's going on, some of the important parts of of the plan. And I thank them for it. And I thank you guys, the ones that are staying in place and doing what you need to do as our tribal people. I thank you for that. And this is the update for today. And we'll
Chairman
do,
Sampson,
yes,
can
ma'am.
I don't know that whether I had added that tribal members with a tribal ID or a driver's license that has a local address will be allowed to pass through the checkpoints for, you know, for essential travel. And so just make sure to have your tribal ID on you if you're going to go through there. If you need to go through there, then make sure you have your tribal ID or your driver's license on you, and hopefully everybody has their driver's license on them if they're driving. But make sure that you have that. We will also be letting through all essential vehicles, fire, rescue, EMS, deliveries to and from, you know, our facilities. Those folks are going to be able to come through and will be identified. Everybody will get a sticker, so if you go through and you're okay to pass through, you're going to get a sticker for your car so that we're not stopping you multiple times to come and go. So I just wanted to add that to make sure that folks knew that local travel, local residential travel, if those folks that live on the reservation, work on the reservation, can get through and you know, come and go as they normally do for their essential travel.
That's additional information that's important, and like I said, we're going to be given, now that we have our command post up and running, we're going to be given more updates as we move along with this. And I just want to thank you again for listening and catching up with you all. So thank you, and God bless you all.